So I wasn't planning on making another video so soon, but I was doing my research and I realized that I actually wanted to share this with you. So I decided to make a video. And yesterday I posted one relating on how I read the monthly energies. And while I think that it is really nice to have an idea about the general feeling and also, relating it with astrology and numerology, I think that sometimes it might be a little too theoretical and maybe some people don't really know what to do with the information. So while I was doing my own work, my personal work, I thought, why not share how I actually use this information in practice? And maybe this can inspire some of you to actually how to use this information that we can find in different places, but that sometimes we don't really know what to do with it. Like, okay, so there is a conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus, so what? Okay, it's gonna be a month of great fire, or it's gonna be a month of manifestation, so what do I do with it, right? So I think that maybe this is something that I can contribute to in explaining. At least this is how I do it. This is just my personal take on it. I've actually been doing this since forever. I really started doing this when I was in high school. I wasn't necessarily doing like a reading on astrology yet or a numerology because I haven't reached that point yet. But I would look at the feeling for the month and how I felt inside, and I would choose a topic or a general theme that I wanted to explore for that month, and I would read books, I would do research, I would really focus on those things, and I would plan for the whole year, sometimes even more than a year, and I would try to give it a flow. I would try to give it like you know um, mindset behind it in a way. So for example, I would start with more physical things, so about health, then I would progress into mental things. It was very funny for me and like very fun, because it gave me also purpose and it allowed me to explore different topics, but still with a kind of structure behind, which I really like. So okay, enough for the introduction. Let's dive into the video. So for the month of July, I'm not going to repeat the monthly energy, but let's just say that what I found for me is really the topic, what I really want to focus on, and not just because of the astrology, but even what's going on in my life in general. It is about building a strong base. So it is about, for me, finding a stable foundation. And this is something that by now I'm a bit ashamed in a way that I haven't reached that point yet, that I am not so confident in my own, foundations. But I've also had some personal going ons and, things that happened in my life that didn't really allow me to feel that secure. However, I think it is part of my journey and I really know that it was meant to be. So I am grateful that I can, that I can learn from it. But I feel now is the time that I really need to stop having this survival mode instinct, survival mode way of life, and really put my roots down. And if you want to check out the video about grounding and root chakra, you can do that. I made a video on that too because it's something that I'm researching right now. So what I did is basically I created my own journal, and for the month of July I decided to have one focus, so one thing only, otherwise it will get too confused and then too overwhelming. So what I did is basically focusing on grounding, and it's like an umbrella of things, but they all go under the same main focus, which is building a strong base. So it is about grounding, finding a stable foundation, and also strengthening the root chakra. So then I, proceeded on finding three main areas that will help me to achieve this goal. And these three main areas for me are, again, it is about finding some safety points, finding like fixing my mindset basically. Then it is about being more into my body and less into my mind. And then finally, feeling safe into this life, into this earth. I like to conclude my, journal page with an affirmation, which in this case it was, I am safe, secure, and grounded in the moment. And I feel this really captures the essence of this month for me, what I really, really want to do. Um, After that, I proceeded with kind of like, I'm a very structured person, so I really like to have also visually kind of a structure page. And what I did is that I really want to focus on two things, like I said, having a stable foundation and grounding. So for that, I divided it in two pages. In the first one, I am going to analyze how to have a stable foundation. And for me, the first thing to do is to start by the mindset. It doesn't matter if I fix my health, if I fix my routine, if my head is still thinking that I am not stable and I am not safe. So for me, that's the very, very first thing to do. And what I did is basically finding safety points that help me to really feel like I have already a base, like I am not starting from zero. I am not wandering, I am not lost. I do have some safety points, some strong bases already, which I can connect to and I can go back to when I'm feeling lost or when I'm feeling in a survival mode. For example, for me, those are my books, those are my research, my TV series, the knowledge I have acquired. Those are like my loved ones, my friends, their close relationships. It is also my videos and it is my writing. It is also my body. So those are things that cannot be taken away from me. No matter what happens on the outside, no matter what changes, no matter how the environment is unstable, those are things that are just mine. Nobody can take away the books that I'm reading, or they can take them away physically in a way if it happens, but they cannot take away the feeling that it left inside of me or all the knowledge that I've acquired during the years. And that gives me so much comfort and so much strength to know that, I do have some safety points that I can cling on to. The second thing I did was to go through my limiting beliefs, and I made a video about that too. So what I did is basically I thought about the things that I feel are not stable, and I thought what I think about those things. For example, I think that I don't have a stable or I don't have a safe job, and that's because every year they basically change position for me. So it is the same company, but it's always a different position. So in a way, it doesn't let me feel totally safe. Then I have also the issue about the housing. So, it's always renting, and renting is never truly a stable thing, at least in my area or in my like way point of view. Then there is also about a healthy lifestyle. So because of all the things that were happening in my life, I am trying my best to be healthy, but I have to say it's not always possible. So I really feel like I have a really chaotic lifestyle, and which causes me kind of a lot of stress. Also, I cause myself a lot of stress because I'm someone who really cares deeply about things and who takes on too much sometimes. But that doesn't make me feel safe. It makes me feel like I'm always, in an ocean, like the wind blows me wherever it wants, and I never have safe or stable footing. And also that maybe I don't belong anywhere. Sometimes I have this issue that I am not sure because my parents are from two different countries, so I never really felt like I belonged to any of those. So sometimes I'm not really sure where am I from, who am I. But once I wrote this down, and it was super easy for me because it's an exercise that I've learned to do, and it's super, super nice to, sometimes you don't even realize it. Like, for example, for me, I was thinking, I don't know, about this belonging, and I thought I had solved this a long time ago. But then, as soon as I thought about it, it popped in my head, like, I don't belong anywhere. And it's just a thought that it wasn't conscious, it was there in the back of my mind. But as soon as I wrote it down, I was like, wow, this is what I believe. So I need to work on that because I know it's not the truth. So it's just a thought, but the thoughts condition how we feel, the thoughts condition how we act. So after I did this, I took one by one, I went one by one, and I tried to debunk these limiting beliefs, like trying to find, and it wasn't hard, trying to find like the opposite. For example, I don't have a stable job. That's not true. I do have a stable job. It's only that the position changes. But even if the job wouldn't be stable, I am able to support myself because I have skills, I have knowledge, and I know that if I need, I can go and look for something else. Or, for example, I don't belong anywhere. That is not true. I belong where my loved ones are, and I belong within myself. So those are things that, immediately in my head is like, these thoughts that I have are not true. They are just in my head because they are, there because of conditioning, because of fears, but they are in a way controlling my life from behind the scenes. They are the string, like the puppeteer that is holding the strings and making me act in a way because of them. So, and it's really liberating once you see them, because the next time you think about them, you immediately connect it and you're like, wait, no, this is, I have been through this. So it is not that way. It is not true. I am supported. I am actually loved. It's all based on my fears. So basically, yeah, this is the exercise that I did and that I do quite often. And the next step is to find actionable steps to debunk them even more. In the sense, for example, you're feeling you're not safe or stable in your job. What are some actionable steps that you can do to make you feel more safe? So after you've done the mental work, after you've done the cleaning of your mindset, then you should jot down or think about some things that can concretely help you to make it more safe. So, for example, I can update my curriculum, I can look around, I can find alternative ways of income, I don't know, stuff like that. Or I feel my lifestyle is chaotic and it doesn't really support me. So, what are the things that I can do? Have, I don't know, a stable wake up time, go more indoors, do more movement, just things that are your priority. However, I feel it's important to mention not to overdo it, so not to have like a to-do list that is long and overwhelming, because it will just put you down, like, oh my god, there is so much to do, I am so behind, I will never get better. So just, for each step, for each limiting belief and each debunking phrase that you thought of, just try to think about one or two actionable steps that are immediate, that you can do, that are simple, easy to achieve, that will help you and that are urgent, prioritizing, and then the rest will come. And finally, for the second part, which is the grounding, so this was about building a stable foundation mindset. Now about the grounding, which they go together. And in this case, for me, it's about, being safe to exist on this earth. Because grounding, so when someone isn't grounded, it's all about not feeling safe in your own body. So you tend to be more in your head, in your mind, and you tend to float around because you don't feel safe to be in your body. And in my case, it hit home more than I thought. So I was really meditating on this during these days. And I decided that the thing to do is to have two things. So I always like to act holistically, which means not only on one aspect, because everything is connected. So in this case, I decided to act on both ways, so physical and energetic. For the physical things, it's the grounding things, like for example sensory perception, smelling a candle, touching something, but really really focusing on it, on the sensation, to like be really present in the moment. Or even when you're eating, like really taste the food. Then I don't know, have more movement, because movement connects you with your body, and be present while you do it. Or be more in nature, so walk barefoot, or touch the tree, or swim, something that connects you with nature. And then for the energetic part, it is about visualization. So it really does help. So if you have that, it doesn't have to be, most of the times people think, oh my god, it's, I have to sit 20 minutes in the dark, trying not to think about anything. And I tried, but yeah, it doesn't really work. It's painful, especially in the beginning, because the job of the mind is to think, and we have a lot going on through our lives, and sometimes even 20 minutes alone is hard to find. But it can only be 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, whatever you want. And just really close your eyes and see. For 1 minute, just, you can even put a timer. 1 minute, see the ground, see the roots coming from your spine and anchoring you to the ground. That's all it takes. 1 minute, that's all. And if you want, also visualize like a red light, because it connects to the red chakra, because red is the lowest vibration in terms of light, and it is grounding. And another thing that is both physical but also acts energetically is to have your immediate space cleared, so free of clutter. For example, your nightstand, take a moment to clean it, to declutter it. It really helps, because it makes you feel like you are in control of this, of your immediate environment. So even if things are out of your control, other things which are not in your power, but you have the power to control your immediate environment, and it makes you feel better, honestly. So that's another thing. So all of this too, so creating a stable mindset foundation, and also grounding, help to balance the root chakra. And the root chakra is the base of everything. If that one is messed up, then I'm sorry, but it's harder to balance the other chakras, because you want to start with the base, and then you want to work from the base up. But as everything, like even house, you need stable foundations. So this is what I do. This is it just comes instinctively to me, and I know it's very personal, so this is just a guideline. But I hope that if someone doesn't, if someone listens to the astrological things, or the energy, but doesn't really know how to apply it to their own life, that this can maybe help. And if you like it, I can do this for every month. And just give it a thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe if you want, and let me know in the comments. I really, really appreciate feedback. Thank you so much, and see you next time.